May we approach the witness?
You may.
Oh.
Oh, damn.
I'm showing you Ms. Bennett, initial sound. Stacy Exhibit 53. Do you recognize the persons reflected in Stacy Exhibit 53? Specifically at 7:24. Do you recognize the persons reflected in Stacy Exhibit 53?
Yes,
And how do you recognize?
it's me.
Okay. And you recognize the person you are in that?
Yes,
Is a fair and accurate representation of the people and places depicted in this video?
so what?
Is this a fair and accurate? Is this a fair and accurate depiction of the people and places depicted in this video?
Yes,
Your Honor, the state tender Stacy Exhibit 53 is evidence.
First objection, state 53 councils. All right, so noted. State 53 will be admitted over objection and be published as you see.
Yeah. Oh, I don't have a problem with that, Your Honor.
No, okay, yes, it can be shown.
53 Alpha Alpha, my apologies.
You want to say something? Cameraman. It's for the tape, man. Hold on.
Ms. Bennett, who is the person we're looking at in the first?
I'm gonna object as to relevance.
I'll rule the objection.
15 seconds of this video where we pause.
Jay.
Jay, is he also called Bloody Jay?
Yeah.
All right. Would you fast forward to 7 minutes and approximately 30 seconds? Seven, 20 seconds. Ms. Bennett, would you tell the jury who it is that we're looking at on the screen right now?
Me and Jay.
And what is the caption underneath your image?
It say the real lady LV.
And isn't it true that it's your the social media handle that you use?
And I had so many social media, like so many people had fake pages on me. So I know there wasn't one of them though.
I'm sorry, what?
I said I had so many social media people make fake pages of me, and that probably was one of them.
Would you continue? Go back. So, Ms. Knight, would you rewind to seven minutes and 16 seconds, and just let it play it. Set up 15, go ahead and play it.
Hand gestures.
And what were those hand gestures meant to signify?
I'm not sure.
Ms. Knight, would you please back up about 3 seconds and freeze it on the hand gesture where she has both hands up? Back up further. Got one. What is that next signify, Ms. Bennett?
A bird.
A bird?
Yes.
What kind of bird?
I'm not. Yeah. You don't have to be a green bird, red bird, or yellow bird. Just a bird.
Why did you put up your fingers together to signify a bird in this moment?
Wow. I can't recall.
Ms. Bennett, do you have a 5-point star tattoo on your person?
Yes.
What is it meant to signify?
My father, 5th child.
And is that 5-point star red?
And green.
I'm sorry?
And green.
Which part is red?
The outer.
Continue.
The outer. Do I know what bird game is?
Yes. Have you ever had any affiliation with Hurricane?
Mm-mm.
Please continue.
Right, baby.
Zone 3.
Zone 3?
Yes.
It was not a B?
No.
Go ahead. You need us to rewind it?
Yes.
Rewind it. What is that?
It said Lady LV for some. Think what it say.
Is there a 5 next to the A in that last word?
Yes.
Why is there 5 and not a letter there?
I'm not sure.
You'd agree that that's your shirt, right?
Yes, it was gave it to me.
And you're wearing a shirt called Lady LV.
Yes.
Continue.
Just out here, man. You know the bullets, man. What we do. This is. Hey, man, what's up, my boy Frog, too, man? Shout out Frog. Hey, this is not a movie. What you say, Frog? This is actually what goes on. Hey, what the camera shot, nigga? What break? Are y'all like fucking? I got the.
Who is the person in the video with you now at the instant? To your immediate left.
Can you show the face?
Please remind us. Is that not Micah Anderson?
Yes.
Your child's father?
Yes.
You do not recognize him from behind?
Mm-mm.
Continue.
What the camera shot, nigga? What break? Are y'all like fucking? I got the camera. What break? In the hood, nigga. What break? Hold on, man. Really good. First name. Damn. One more time, man. Frank. Hey, man. My brother, man, you know.
19 seconds. Mr. Bennett. You need to see it again?
Yes.
Please remind Ms. Knight.
Go ahead, objection based on hearsay as well.
Your Honor, we're not offering anything for
I
this.
sustain it, you can lay foundation, if you want to.
Your Honor, are we allowed to continue the portion that we have just introduced that she says that or,
Not until you lay some more foundation.
Ms. Bennett, do you recognize these people in this video?
Yes.
And again, are these fair and accurate reflections of a day and time where you all were together and shooting this video?
Yes, I don't remember when.
Okay. Say that again. And,
Yes, I don't remember when.
and were the words that we hear coming out of your mouth words that you actually spoke?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, may we play the portion of Ms. Bennett and her speaking?
I will still pose an objection to the hearsay of other individuals speaking. That does not lay a foundation for the
Your Honor, we're not hindering what other people are saying.
I'll rule the objection, you can play it.
Damn. Frank. Hey, man.
Handshake.
What type of handshake?
I don't know. I just did what everybody else did.
Does this signify sex, money, murder in any way?
I'm not sure.
And is it your testimony that you don't know what sex, money, murder is?
Yes, I heard of it.
And is it your testimony that you've heard of it where?
In the streets.
You heard of it in this group that you're with, right?
Yes.
And in fact, you referred to Pistol Pete in this video, don't you?
I'm not sure.
You know who Pistol Pete is, right?
No,
So if you're referring to Pistol Pete, do you know who you'd be referring to?
no, you said I'm referring to him. I don't know who he is.
My brother, man, you know. Jojo, man, you know. Monster, man. Monster Joey. I'm Black Llama. I'm so what they said they don't know how for. They ain't say, come out of one. Yeah, man. We out here, man. You know what I mean? Be that house. Somebody better tell them about the house.
And Ms. Bennett, when I asked you earlier on direct whether Donovan Thomas was ABG, is this the same ABG that you were referring to?
What you mean? Is this the same?
Was the ABG reflected in the article of clothing in this video the same ABG that Donovan Thomas was a member of?
Yes.
Black Llama, man. Dig it up, man. Try that fuck shit. What I know. You know, right there all the time. We're right there at all the time. Yeah. So, you know, this shit bigger out.
Ms. Bennett, do you recognize the person, could you back up just a little bit, to the far left of the screen, next to Jay?
No.
Had you ever seen him before that day?
Not sure.
Isn't he the person you're in a photograph with that has already been admitted as evidence?
Not that I know of.
Would you continue to play until?
So, you know, this shit bigger out. I thought all this shit out on about. I think it was
Jay, man, you know what I mean? Represent homie. You know what I mean? This what it gonna be like, baby. Let head on that, you know what I mean?
for real. It's a little party, man. It's a little brother.
We got a little party, man. Free show goons, Lazy Brown. Free, hey, free.
And still you don't recognize, you didn't recognize the person with the red bandana on that I was asking about.
No, they covered up. No.
Have you heard the name Trontavious Stevens?
No.
Have you heard the name Kit or Slug?
No.
Just one moment. Do you know? You never told anyone to take that hill down at the real Lady B that was on this video, did you?
No, I ain't even never look at it.
And do you know approximately when it was that video
No.
was shot? Would it have been before 2015?
Not sure.
Did you say that you were in prison from 2015 forward?
Yes.
So with that in mind, would it have been before 2015?
Oh, yes.
I think that's all you're on. Thank you, Your Honor. That's all that I have for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you want to take 5 minutes before we? Okay, we're going to take a 5-minute comfort break and we'll go ahead and continue the witness examination at that time. We're in recess.
of questions, and you've been shown text messages between you and various members of the district attorney's office. Is that true?
Yes,
And you recognize some of those text messages that you were shown, correct?
yes,
In fact, I'm going to draw your attention to just a couple of them and ask you about those text messages and your testimony, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to start. Ms. Knight, if you'd be kind enough to put up what's been marked as State's Exhibit 35A-AB, Alpha Alpha Bravo.
It's not on PowerPoint, but you have it in your hand. So you-
All right, tell you what, may I approach the witness, Judge?
You may, sir.
All right, thank you. I'm going to show you their exhibit, right? 35 Alpha Alpha Bravo. And with the court's permission, if I can stand next to the witness to draw her attention to.
Yes, sir, you may.
All right, these are the text messages that you were shown earlier. Is that correct?
yes,
All right. Would you agree that these are the text messages that purport to be between you and Madam Prosecutor, Ms. Love?
yes,
Okay. And your attention was drawn earlier to one text message in particular, which was dated November 26th of 2023. You remember that?
yes,
All right. That was the day when, back in November, a number of months ago, when Ms. Love contacted you and indicated that she wanted to talk to you about this 2013 incident, right?
yes,
All right. And you remember, of course, that throughout November, from November 26th to about the end of the year, there were a few text messages between you and Ms. Love.
yes,
All right. You responded to a couple of them. Isn't that true?
yes,
That's right. I don't need. Now, there was a text message in particular somewhere around New Year's. You remember that? Remember this one? Where it says, "Hi and Happy New Year." That message came from Ms. Love.
yes,
Talked about hoping you and your boys are having a wonderful day.
yes,
Talked about, and Ms. Love at that time went on to talk to you about how you were a, quote, wonderful mom to those three boys in case no one else tells you that this year. Remember when she was talking to you in that fashion?
yes,
Okay. And you remember her telling you those things as she was talking to you about being a witness for the state in this case, right?
yes,
That was about January. Is that correct?
yes,
Now, you remember that there was a text message right around the same time, around New Year's, where Ms. Love talked to you about wanting to talk to you sometime this week and that she could come by to you. You remember that?
yes,
All right. Remember there was a conversation about her having some peas and leftover greens from New Year's and all that. She was talking to you about, about coming by and talking to you and being friendly with you and that sort of thing, right?
yes,
Okay. You remember Ms. Love telling you that she wanted to talk to you about questions she anticipated the defense would ask you, would try to get out of you, how you should view those questions. You remember those that being said in those text messages?
yes,
All right. And in fact, in those text messages, she kept telling you that she wanted to make it comfortable for you, right?
yes,
She told you that, didn't she?
yes,
In fact, she said that she wanted to talk to you. She would make it really brief. She wanted the jury, or I want the jury to see the person I met the other day. She's a wonderful person, and I need them to know it. You remember when she was talking to you like that?
yes,
Okay. And after a while, those conversations and the temperature of those conversations changed, didn't they?
yes,
And let's see, that last message that we just talked about, where she wanted the jury to see the person she met and what a wonderful person you were, that was about somewhere in early January, isn't that right?
yes,
Now, soon after that, and we are in April the 8th, isn't that right? That's today's date, correct?
Yes,
All right. Is it fair to say that soon after January, you weren't having a whole lot more conversations with the assistant district attorney, Ms. Love?
yes,
You kind of stopped responding to a lot of her text messages, isn't that right?
yes, and she kind of like stopped texting for a while.
You were at some point beginning to feel as though you were being harassed by the district attorney's office.
Yes,
In fact, in conversations with whether it was an assistant district attorney or an investigator, they would ask you questions about 2013, right?
yes,
You would continuously tell them, look, I don't remember, or I don't know, I don't have nothing to say about it. Is that true?
yes,
Nonetheless, they kept asking questions and telling you that they wanted you to come in and testify, right?
yes,
It's fair to say that most of their questions, everything that was asked about you, compared to what to say about Jeffrey Williams.
can you repeat it?
Is that what they were asking? Were they trying to see what it is they could get you to say about Jeffrey Williams?
Yes,
With Ms. Knight's assistance, actually, never mind. Portion witness again, Judge?
You may, sir.
Thank you. Stage 33, Alpha Alpha. Let's see. In addition to Ms. Love, you also talking to other investigators in the office, correct?
yes,
Talked to Investigator Long, right?
yes,
And talked to Investigator Hamilton.
yes,
Get to Hamilton in a while, but there was a conversation that you had with an investigator somewhere around February. Right now, we're just from January when you're talking to Ms. Love. To February, we were talking to the investigator, and at some point you sent a text message, right, where you said, okay, I'm about to get a lawyer now because I keep telling y'all I don't have shit to say, and y'all keep harassing me and my family, but I'll be there at 9:30. You remember that?
yes,
Okay, so we moved from November, and you're talking to the DA's office, right?
yes,
And by the time February rolls around, right, about 2 months ago, you're still telling them, listen, I don't have anything to say, I don't have any information for you. Isn't that true?
yes,
Investigator Hamilton. At some point, you start having some conversation with Investigator Hamilton. Is that correct?
yes.
Okay. States Exhibit 34 Alpha Alpha, please. Ms. Knight would be kind enough to go ahead and put that up on the stand for me, on the screen for me, please. Now, whether you knew him as a investigator or an attorney, what you knew for a fact was that Hamilton worked with the DA's office, true?
Yes, I thought he was a attorney. I wasn't sure what he was.
Okay, but I mean, certainly you knew that he was calling you and asking you questions and interacting with you on behalf of the district attorney's office. Isn't that right?
Yes,
And there were times where you would have conversations with him by phone, right?
yes,
I mean, actually on the phone, correct?
yes,
There were times when there'd be text messages exchanged, correct?
yes,
And in regards to your testimony, your testifying, right? Would you agree that your manner of testifying, the way you feel about testifying has something to do with the way the district attorney's office dealt with you?
Objection, Dave.
I stand a question. You can phrase it.
Yes. Well, certainly you had conversations with Hamilton, right?
yes,
Now, is it fair to say that although we saw some, and we'll talk about them in a bit, some text messages that were put up on the screen, right? They don't capture all of the interactions between you and Hamilton, right?
no,
Now, were you imagining it when you said that you thought that Investigator Hamilton was acting like he wanted to date you?
Objection, Your Honor, form of the question.
I sustain the question. You can rephrase it.
Yes, sir. Let me pause on Hamilton for a second. I want to go back and ask you something about Ms. Love and your conversations with her. You remember that you were asked questions about whether or not you were comfortable talking about this incident. Ms. Love, you remember those questions?
Yes,
You remember that you said she made you uncomfortable, correct?
yes,
She made you feel in your conversations with her like you wanted to harm yourself, true?
yes,
Now, you remember testifying at some point, there was some conversation you had with her about her, quote, getting you some counseling or getting you some help or something like that?
yes,
Did you ever perceive that the counseling that you thought she was referring to was her locking you up to bring you here to testify? Did you ever think that was gonna happen?
Objection, Your Honor, as to the
No.
form of the question.
I sustain the question.
They did lock you up though, didn't they?
yes,
So that you could come in here and testify, right?
yes,
Even though you told them, look, I don't have anything to say, I don't remember anything about this, right?
yes,
Nancy.
I sustain the question.
Now, back to Hamilton. So you would agree with me that you were talking to this Mr. Hamilton about the same time that you were sending those text messages going back and forth that we saw early in early February. Is that about right?
Yes.
Okay. So I want you to do me a favor. Look to your left, right, and I'll reference the screen up top. Now you recognize these as text messages between you and this investigator Hamilton, right?
yes,
Now, in that first text message where he says, GM, now GM is good morning, right?
yes,
Good morning, mama. Hope you slept well. Now, is that generally how he would communicate with you, how he would address you?
Objection, Page.
I sustain the question.
Did he address you as mama on more than one occasion?
yes,
And if we can go down a bit to the bottom of that page. All right. So on Wednesday, February the 7th, at about 5:48 p.m., he sent you a text message, this investigator for the DA's office, saying, call me one more time, then I'm out here for the night. You remember that?
yes,
Now, how about the next one? That same night, Wednesday, February 7th, 6:45 p.m., where he says, hit me up if you're bored later. We're not gonna talk shop. Remember that text message?
yes,
Did you talk to him later on?
yes,
Did y'all talk shop?
yes.
What do you want to talk about?
Going out,
Going out? Going out is in walking out the door or going out on a date?
a date,
And this is February 7th of 2024, this year, when the investigator for the DA's office is supposed to be talking to you about a case, but in fact is calling you, talking to you about going out on a date. Is that true?
yes,
Did the fact that this employee of the district attorney's office was trying to date you come into your mind as you're thinking about whether you have to come in here and testify or not?
yes,
You were shown earlier one of the exhibits, text messages between you and Mr. Hamilton. And just to be clear, I asked you a little bit earlier about how many times it is that in these conversations with you, he referred to you as mama. Let's see. Tuesday, February 6th, send you a text message, mama, thank you. With a fist, little fist sign, right?
Yeah.
Sunday, February the 11th, send you a text message early in the morning. Talking about, good morning, hope you slept well, mama. Remember?
Yes.
You testified last week about the fact that you were having to come meet with the DA's office and that led to you losing your job. Is that right?
Yeah.
Now, when Investigator Hamilton told you, don't worry about that, I can help you get another job, was that in a text message or was that a phone conversation that you had with him?
Both.
Now, as we move forward into March, right, there was that period of time where you were supposed to come in and testify. Is that right?
I think so. Yes.
And you were in communication with Investigator Hamilton. Is that right?
Yes.
Now, do you remember last week when you did questions on the state? The state was asking questions about whether you were telling them you didn't want to come in and testify. You remember those questions?
Yes.
Do you remember the prosecutor asking you whether or not you said to someone or you texted someone, tell the judge to kiss my ass?
But I ain't say that.
Right, but you remember
He said it for
asking
the-
that, right?
yeah. Yes.
All right, you did not
Right.
say that, did you?
No, it said what I said. I told the judge to call me, not kiss my ass.
So the text message that's dated Tuesday, March 26, 8:06 p.m. that you were asked about earlier and it was put up on the screen where it says, well, I was in an accident. I'm just now leaving the hospital. Like I said, I don't give a fuck if they lock me up. What that gonna do? Shit, so can you get the judge to call me? Those your words?
Yes.
Because they're about to see some more of their attorneys be on the news or in jail too for sexual harassment. Please do. That's your text message, right?
Yes.
That is verbatim your text message, right?
Yes.
So when you last week, or when it was suggested that you said, tell the judge to kiss my ass, it's not what you said, is it?
No.
Objection, Your Honor, as to the form of the question. The question was
I stand-
when suggested.
I'll stand the question. You can rephrase first.
Yes, sir. You asked the judge to call you, or you had the investigator to have the judge call you. Is that true?
Yes.
You did not say, tell the judge he can kiss my ass. True?
You had right there, sir. I did not tell the judge to kiss my ass. I wouldn't have no reason to tell the judge that. I just wanted him to call.
You were the video that was shown a little while ago. You remember that video, right? You were in that video, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. I think you asked earlier if you know when that video was.
I don't.
It was certainly before 2015, right?
Yes.
If I were to say that was in 2012, would you have any reason to dispute that?
I wouldn't be sure.
Okay. At any of the times when you met with and spoke with anyone from the DA's office in regards to coming in here and testify? We ever shown that video and said, hey, we're gonna show you this video so you can help enlighten the jury about this Rico case? Anybody ever show you the video and ask you that?
No,
Is there anything in any of that video, anything that has anything whatsoever to do with the 2013 incident you've been asked questions about?
no,
Is there anything about you wearing red, throwing up whatever kind of signs, or whomever it is you're with in that video that tells us anything about what happened in 2013?
no.
Ladies and gentlemen, you disregard the witness's answer. And Ms. Benny, if there's an objection, stop talking,
Oh, okay.
okay, immediately, and let me rule upon that before you complete, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Did, was the first time that you saw that video when it was played here in court?
Yes,
First time you were asked any questions about it when it was played here in court?
yes,
Did Mr. Hamilton ever show you any videos or any photographs at any time that he met with you?
no,
Did he, Mr. Hamilton or anybody else, ever ask you any questions about gang or gang affiliation or anything like that when they met with you?
no.
Why exactly? You asked a couple of questions earlier, and I want to just jump back to this for a quick second about your meeting with Mr. Hamilton. I think Mr. Atkins, you remember being asked those questions a little while ago?
Yes,
Okay. Why exactly were you reluctant to meet with folks from the DA's office? Were you?
Objection as an answer.
Sustained.
All right. Back to 2013. Back in 2013, is it your testimony that you do not recall the incident that you've been asked about from 2013?
Objection as an answer.
Sustained.
yes,
Your Honor,
Madam, remember, if there's an objection, stop talking.
okay.
The jury to disregard the witness's last answer.
When you were being questioned last week by Ms. Love, and you said that the DA lied, what were you referring to?
I don't know.
Have you, 2013, since 2013, let's see, 2013, then in 2015, you went into custody, is that right?
Yes,
You were in custody for a couple years?
yes.
You came out when?
May 2017,
One more time?
May 2017,
2017?
yes,
You've not been back in since that period of time, right?
yes.
The first time that you had a conversation or asked any questions about this 2013 thing was when?
I think last year,
Last year, 2023?
yes,
Are you aware that this 2013 thing that they've been talking about is not even part of this indictment?
objection, Your Honor.
I sustain the objection.
You know whether your name is in the indictment anywhere?
Your Honor, objection.
Standing objection.
And this video, right, that you saw a little earlier. Remember you were asked a couple questions about sex, money, murder?
Yes.
Sex, money, murder have anything to do with this incident we're talking about from 2013?
No.
One moment, please.
Yes, sir.
When you were told you had to come here and testify, you were assured by the state that your face wouldn't be shown, right?
No.
Was that your face that was shown in the video that they played a little earlier?
Yes.
That's all I've got.
Any other examination, counsels? All right, anything further? State?
Yes.
No?
I'm sorry.
Is there anything further?
Yes, Your Honor, just briefly, regarding the questions asked by Mr. Adams. Probably about 4 more questions.
All right, let's see.
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Bennett, you were asked by Mr. Adams about State's Exhibit 34 Alpha Alpha. And you were asked specifically about the text message on February the 7th of 2024 at 6:45 p.m. Exhibit 34 Alpha Alpha. Mr. Adams, did you keep 34 Alpha Alpha?
I think so. It should be able to the rest of the. I have to take a look.
You have it?
I do not. It should be for the rest of them.
The only 2 that were up here are 29 and 30. Mm-mm, 34. Okay. Stacy said 34 Alpha Alpha. And you're agreeing that February 7th, 6:45 PM, when you receive the text, hit me up if you're bored later, we're not gonna talk shop.
Mhm.
Okay. And Mr. Adams asked you whether you spoke with Lieutenant Hamilton on the telephone after that. Do you recall that?
Yes,
Now, as part of State's Exhibit 34 Alpha Alpha, would you agree with me that there are also telephone calls that are reflected from February the 7th of 2024?
yes,
Okay, and would you agree with me that, just look off through it, there are 2 telephone calls, and if you need to look through the rest of the exhibit, feel free to do so, on February the 7th, 2024. And that one is an incoming call at 6:02 PM. Incoming to you, outgoing from Lieutenant Hamilton, that lasted 3 seconds. Would you agree with me?
this not indicating whether, the incoming or the outgoing is mine or his. I don't understand this, like
Okay,
the text message.
all right. You have both of your phones in your possession, correct?
No,
Where are they?
I don't have them.
I'm asking you where they are.
Oh, my phone, I just have one of them right now.
Okay. Where's the other phone? What?
Broken.
Okay. So when you say broken, what do you mean? Help me understand that.
It's cracked.
So why did you need to get a new number for the cracked phone?
Why did I need to get a new number for the cracked phone?
Yes, ma'am.
When my phone was broken, I couldn't receive calls, send out calls, so I had to get another phone.
Okay. So you don't have a plan, or is it, why did you have to get a whole other phone for a cracked?
No, I don't have a plan on it.
So did anyone ask you to look through either of your phones to look at the messages or the times from that you received or made calls to Lieutenant Hamilton?
No, you just showed me that.
Okay. And you'd agree with me that the only 2 calls reflected on this call log are a call at 6:02 PM going out from the phone that gave this call log, and a call at 6:22 PM coming in from your number.
Your Honor, I'm gonna object to, well, mischaracterization. It's not a call log, it's a screenshot.
I stand objection.
So, Your Honor, I'll rephrase my
If
question.
beyond your 4 questions, let's wrap it up, Ms. Love.
I gotta use the bathroom.
Ms. Bennett, do you have anything to show that any calls were made between you and Lieutenant Hamilton on February the 7th, other than the 6:02 PM call for 3 seconds and the 6:22 PM call coming in from you for 9 minutes and 30 minutes?
Like I said, I don't know what this is, which phone it was at the time. I just know you have a screenshot, so I don't know if it means him or me. I don't understand.
Did you provide anyone with screenshots of your call history?
No, I just seen everything because of you.
Okay,
I never provided nobody with nothing. You provided everybody with everything.
right.
Yes,
So did you ever provide anyone anything to contradict anything in you?
no, you did.
Okay, I didn't provide anything, right? This is the exhibit, you understand that?
Okay.
Okay, did you ever provide any,
I stand objection.
Ms. Bennett, did Mr. Adams ever ask you for a call log?
Objection
No.
to- Objection to burden shifting.
Your Honor, it's not urgent shifting, when the issue has been raised, Your Honor, may we
Hold on.
approach?
Mr. Adams, I'm gonna overrule your objection. Mr. Short, I'm gonna overrule your objection. State, don't ask that question ever again.
And Ms. Bennett, would you agree with me that the next call between you and Lieutenant Hamilton did not occur until March of 2024, as reflected by these calls on these screenshots?
Repeat the
could
question.
look at it as
You
much
want,
as you need.
repeat the question. You want me to answer?
Would you agree with me that after the two calls on February the 7th, one at 6:02 p.m., one at 6:22 p.m., the next call that you got from Lieutenant Hamilton or made to Lieutenant Hamilton occurred one in February, on February the 9th?
Which one are you talking about?
All of the calls. After February the 7th, there were two calls made on February the 7th, and both of them were before that text message was sent to you by Lieutenant Hamilton. Isn't that correct?
I'm not sure.
Bless you, Your Honor. Would you agree with me that the text message from Lieutenant Hamilton was sent to you on February the 7th at 6:45 p.m.?
Yes.
And the only two calls that were made between you and Lieutenant Hamilton were on 6:02 p.m., that's before the 6:45 text, and 6:22 p.m. before the 6:45 text?
Yes.
And the call that Lieutenant Hamilton either received from you or made to you wasn't made until February the 9th. Would you agree with me on that?
I'm gonna sustain the objection on other grounds. It's been asked and answered. Let's move on.
And it's fair to say that notwithstanding any of this, all of this occurred well after 2013, correct?
Asked and answered. Let's move on.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's all that I have.
Anything further?
Did the state ever provide you with your, not a screenshot, but phone logs, actual phone records to look at and ask you any questions about phone calls that had been made? Did they ever do that?
No.
Did they ever provide you with phone records from Investigator Hamilton and ask you to look at those and ask you about phone calls that had been made? Did they do that?
No.
That's all.
Anything further?
No, Your Honor.
All right, may Ms. Bennett be permanently temporarily excused as a witness?
Yes, Your Honor. Yeah.
Permanently?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Bennett, I'm gonna permanently excuse you as a witness. You're free to go about your usual duties and avocation. Just don't discuss your testimony with anybody except the attorneys in this case, okay?
Your Honor, we'll provide an order,
Yes. All right. Thank you, Ms. Bennett. You can step out, please. All right, ladies and gentlemen from the state, are you prepared with your next witness? I'm just asking so I can go ahead and kind of let the jurors know in terms of lunch, because it's about the noontime hour anyways, about 10, almost 10 after. So do you have?
We do.
Okay, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, let's do this. Let's back for 1:15 and we'll start. 1:15 we'll actually start and begin the afternoon session, okay? All right. Unless there's anything else, we'll be in recess until 1:15. All rise. All right. Summon, is it Mr. or Miss Montgomery Porter? Summon Miss Montgomery Porter, please. I just have her on the ready. Can we, in fact, hold on, wait a second. Go ahead and summon our jurors, please. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
All jurors present, count four.
All right, thank you, Sergeant Ingram. All right, State, call your next witness.
Yes, Your Honor. State called crime scene unit manager L. Porter to stand.
All right, summon Ms. Porter, please. Ms. Porter, good afternoon, madam. If you please approach the witness stand. Once you get there, before you sit down, turn and face Sergeant Ingram and be sworn as a witness.
So for testimony, give the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Yes.
That's it.
Thank you.
State, spell the first last name.
My first name is LaShantis, LaShanTise. Last name Porter, Porter.
Good afternoon, Manager Porter. How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Can you tell the jury where you are currently employed?
I am the crime scene unit manager at the Atlanta Police Department.
How long have you been with Atlanta Police Department?
I've been with the police department for 17 years.
And can you explain to the jury what does your current position as a crime scene manager, what all do you do in that capacity that you do?
In my current position, I make sure that the crime scene unit and the crime scene techs are processing their scenes correctly, making sure they're collecting evidence correctly, doing their reports on time. I also manage our background check unit and making sure they are assisting the public with their background checks. We also do fingerprinting, and we have a photo lab that provides photos to law enforcement agencies.
Is that photo lab in-house to APD?
Yes.
Now, when you first started with APD, what position did you hold?
I started as the office support assistant, and I worked in the personnel unit.
What did you do after that?
I went to the motors unit, and then I went to Central Records. And then from Central Records, I went to the crime scene unit.
Now, when you first went to the crime scene unit, what was your initial position?
Crime scene tech 1.
What is crime scene tech 1?
A crime scene tech 1 is your entry level crime scene tech. You go to scenes, but you respond with a senior technician.
What is after a crime scene tech 1?
Crime scene tech 2.
Did you ever become a crime scene tech 2?
Yes.
When did you become a crime scene tech 2, roughly?
I believe it was in 2011.
And what do you have to do to get promoted, so to speak, to a crime scene tech 2?
We have a series of classes that we take at Georgia Public Safety Training Center in Forsyth. So once we take those 7 classes and we have a year of work on the job training, then you get your certification.
Now, in the state of Georgia, is other crime scene techs and other law enforcement agencies, do they take similar classes?
Everyone takes the same classes.
So is the crime scene tech 1 and 2, and is there a crime scene tech 3?
It is.
Is that something that's used with law enforcement agencies across the state?
Some of them, not all.
Now, did you ever get promoted to crime scene tech 3?
I did.
What do you have to do to attain that?
So I was grandfathered into the position once they changed them. However, you have to have a IAI certification, which is a national forensic certification.
Now, if you, so in total, from your time with the police department, is it fair or not fair to say that the bulk of your time has been spent in some capacity as a crime scene technician?
Yes.
Now, when did you first take on your current position as a manager?
It was in 2018.
And you've been in that position from 2018 until present day 2024?
Yes.
Roughly how many crime scene techs work under you?
Right now we have 10 crime scene techs.
Now, the crime scene techs, do they respond across the city? Are they broken down by zone? How does that work?
They respond across the whole city and the airport.
Now, in your capacity and time with APD, you have a ballpark. How many crime scenes have you personally responded to?
Over 5,000.
And do you ever have to respond to crime scenes in your current position as a manager?
No.
What would be a circumstance that you have to respond to one in present day?
If it's a major scene or if we are short-staffed.
Now, can you describe for the jury, for the crime scene tech, say crime scene tech 1 that responds, what is their duties and responsibilities when they respond to a crime scene?
So upon responding to a crime scene, we get the calls on the radio, we respond to the scenes, we were requested for photos. We take photos, we process for fingerprints, we collect evidence, we collect biological evidence, clothing, anything of the sort. We process vehicles if necessary.
And when crime techs would immediately respond to the scene and take photographs, do they have any interaction with officers or investigators on scene to know what to photograph?
Yes.
How can you describe to the jury how that works? Your crime scene tech just got on scene. What are some of the steps that you all perform?
Okay, so upon arriving on scene, we will speak with the lead investigator or the officer on scene. We will do a walkthrough of the scene, and that entails them letting us know the type of call it is, the type of processing they're requesting, how big the crime scene is, if we have to respond to multiple locations, and so on and so forth.
Now, Manager Porter, did you turn your attention to May 13th of 2013? On that day, did you respond to the crime scene related to the issue here testified to?
Yes.
Now, what location did you respond to back on May 13th, 2013?
It was 980 Confederate Avenue.
And was that a home, a building, an apartment?
It was an apartment.
And what specific apartment did you respond at 980 Confederate Ave?
It was apartment D.
D as in
D as in dog. Mm-hmm.
Now, was that in Fulton County?
Yes, I believe so.
And how did you get dispatched to go there? What were you responding to?
I was responding to a shots fired robbery call.
And when you got there, can you describe to the jury what you did once you arrived to that scene?
So upon arriving on the scene, I spoke with the lead investigator or the officer, and he advised what he had and showed me the apartment to photograph, and from there I processed this thing.
Now, when you processed this scene at 980 Confederate Avenue, apartment meeting, did you do a walkthrough of the scene before you started taking photographs?
Yes,
And did you in fact take crime scene photographs of this scene?
yes.
Now, back then, what would you have used to take these photographs?
We had a digital camera.
Manager Porter, I'm going to approach you with state's exhibits 1 alpha alpha through 23 alpha alpha.
You already shown what your defense counsel, sir?
Show them to the defense counsel, Your Honor. Through 23 alpha alpha.
Which are.
Manager Porter, I handed you 1 alpha alpha through 23 alpha alpha. You can take a minute, flip through those, and when you're done looking through them, just look up at me. Thank you. What are state exhibits 1 alpha alpha through 23 alpha alpha?
The crime scene photos I took at the location.
And are they a fair and accurate depiction of the crime scene photographs you took responding to the scene at 980 Confederate Avenue?
Yes,
Your Honor, at this time, the state moves to admit and tender evidence, states exhibits 1 through 23 alpha alpha at this time.
Any objection to states 1 alpha alpha through 23 alpha alpha? All right, they're admitted, may be published as you see fit.
Thank you, Your Honor. Now, I'm publishing states exhibit 1 alpha alpha. Manager Porter, whatever, I'm gonna walk through some of these. You can use the hard copies in front of you. There's a screen to your left, and then there's one behind you, whichever of those works the best. We're gonna walk through this. Can you turn your attention to 1 alpha alpha as shown on the screen? What does this photograph depict?
this is an overall of the location at 980 Confederate Avenue
And why is it important to take an overall photograph?
to show the location you're responding to.
And it does this photograph, is there multiple units that were at 980 Confederate Avenue?
Yes,
Do you recall how many there were?
from this picture, it looks as though there were 4.
Now I'm gonna publish states exhibit 2 alpha alpha. Is that the address of the location you responded to?
Yes,
Why is it important for you to take a photograph of the address when you respond to crime scene?
to depict the address that you're responding to.
Publishing states exhibit 3 alpha alpha. What is depicted in 3 alpha alpha?
Apartment doors C and D.
Now, to get up there, did you or did you not have to go up the stairs?
Yes, there were stairs.
And why did you take this photograph that shows apartments C and D?
It was a photograph in relation to apartment D that I was responding to. So it was to show it was 2 doors at the top of the stairs.
Publishing states exhibit 4 alpha alpha. Is 4 alpha alpha, is that the same apartment B that was just depicted in 3?
Yes,
Publishing 5 alpha alpha. Is this a close-up of the apartment door B?
yes, it's a close-up of the apartment letter.
I'm publishing states exhibit 6 alpha alpha. What does this depict? Manager Porter?
The overall of the door with the defect in the door.
Now, can you describe to the jury what you mean with the defect? What's that?
So a defect is any type of damage to an object that wasn't there previously.
And crime scene techs with the Atlanta Police Department, do they classify, is that how y'all are trained to classify things as defects?
Yes,
And publishing states exhibit 7 alpha. Is this a close-up defect on the door?
yes.
Publishing states exhibit 8 alpha. Now, what is this defect made for?
This is the overall of the front door from the inside of the apartment.
And publishing states exhibit 9 alpha. What does 9 alpha depict?
Close up of a defect in the same door.
Now, in the defect we had shown that was on the front, and the defect as depicted in 9 alpha, do they have a relation to one another?
Could be.
So there was a defect on the front of the door, and is this a defect on the back of the door?
Yes.
Publishing states exhibit 10 alpha. What windows are depicted in 10 alpha? Is that apartment C or apartment D?
That's apartment D. Those windows are, I think, are adjacent to the door, the front door.
And do you notice any defects in 10 alpha?
Yes, there's a defect in the window.
We have the computer screen has pollen because it's a yellow hue. So I'm gonna have this stick, manager Porter, and I'm gonna have you show, because it's a little hard to see where this defect is. If I can find thank you, Ms. Love. So if you wouldn't mind, manager Porter, can you show the jury where this defect is? Thank you. You keep that up there. I may use it again. If we could zoom out. Turning to 11 alpha. Is this a zoomed in depiction of that defect on the window outside apartment B?
Yes, it's a close up.
Publishing states exhibit 12 alpha. What and why do you take a photograph such as 12 alpha as you did here?
So we upon entering a location, we take overalls of the entire area.
And in 12 alpha is that door the same door we had just talked about with the defect in it?
Yes.
And do you see the window that we had just looked at that had a defect?
Yes.
Where is it in this photograph?
It's to the left of the door.
Is it the window that's closest to the door?
Yes.
Now, publishing states exhibit 13 alpha. Manager Porter, do you see, or what is 13 alpha depict? I'll start with that.
It's the overall of the living area.
And do you see the boxes in 13 alpha?
Yes.
Could you tell the jury what some of those boxes are to be photographed?
Shoe boxes and like a pamper box.
What can you show? I'll try to zoom in the best we can. Can you point where you just mentioned that there's a camper box pictured there?
Let me
If you don't mind, thank you, ma'am. Now, can you tell what size that camper box is?
Size 1?
Do you have kids yourself, Manager Porter?
Yes.
Are you familiar with what a size 1 camper box, what kind of age does that correspond with?
Probably between newborn and 8-9 months.
Now, do you see the window that has that defect in it in State Exhibit 13 alpha?
Yes.
Can you describe or show the jury where that is?
The window.
Yes, thank you, thank you. Now, I'm going to publish State's Exhibit 14 alpha. Bless you. Is this the same window we had just discussed in 13 alpha?
Yes.
Publishing State's Exhibit 15 alpha. What does this show, man report?
This is an overall of that window with the blinds pulled up, depicting the defect.
So you remember earlier on when the window that was to the right of part of D, we seeing a defect on the outside of the window?
Yes.
Does this correspond to that?
Yes, this is the inside.
And is the front door in relation to this to the immediate right or left of this defect?
On the inside to the right.
Publishing states that it's 16 alfalfa. Is this a zoomed in of that defect?
Yes, it's a close-up of the defect.
I may have your assistance just because of this cue. Can you show where that defect is? Thank you, ma'am. Publishing states exhibit 17 alfalfa. What does this depict? Hands forward.
Overall of that same living area with the defect in the wall.
Can you show where that defect in the wall is? I'm gonna try to zoom in a little bit. Now, looking at that defect, I want to put back up briefly state's exhibit 13 alfalfa. Do you see that defect, Angela, that you just showed?
Yes,
Can you show the jury where that is? And is that over the living room couch area of that apartment?
yes.
Thank you. I'm gonna go back to 17 alfalfa. Publishing 18 alfalfa. Do you see any other defects in this photograph other than the defect you described on the wall?
Yes, there are defects in the closet doors and the wall next to the closet doors.
Would you mind using that pointer to show the jury where these are? And do you see any other defects if I move this photograph to the left?
Yes, to the other closet set of closet doors.
Thank you. Publishing states exhibit 19 alfalfa. What does this depict, Ms. Reporter?
The close-up of the defect above the couch.
Publishing 20 alfalfa. You see the defects you just described depicted in this photograph?
Yes, in the first set of closet doors in the wall.
Publishing 21 alfalfa.
And the second set of closet doors.
Publishing 22 alfalfa.
The clip of the second set of closet doors.
This is a zoom in of the defects you described in the closet door.
Mhm.
Now, Ms. Reporter, when you respond and go out to crime scenes, do you ever, after you're done, generate a crime scene report?
Yes.
Can you kind of describe to the jury what's your process for creating that report?
So when we get back to the office, we insert our crime scene report. We use the information from what the officers gave us on scene, which would be the case number, the name, the date, victim, suspect information. If there's a vehicle involved, there's vehicle information, the address, and their identifying numbers, their name, unit numbers, and radio number.
Now, in this crime scene report, do you ever provide any descriptions or break down the photographs that you took, if you took some on scene?
Yes.
How are they broken down?
By photo narrative. We break them down one photo, one by one.
And do you also describe in this report what you did when you responded on scene?
Yes.
Now, in this case, when you took the crime scene photographs, did you take any other photographs of any other units at 980 Confederate Avenue, that building?
No.
if you had been requested to take, if you responded there or needed to take photographs of the entire building shot up, would you have taken those photographs for additional effects? Photographs?
Yes.
I want to approach and hand you 54 alfalfa, which is the crime scene report. Your Honor, defense counsel wants to approach relation 54 alfalfa.
Yes.
Now, Manager Porter, did you create a crime scene report in relation to this case?
Yes.
I'm going to approach you with 54 alpha alpha. That to look through that and look up at me once you are comfortable with that, if you are. What is 54 alpha alpha?
It's my crime scene report from May 13th.
And how do you recognize it?
It has my name on it.
Is it a fair and accurate depiction of the crime scene report you generated when you responded to 980 Confederate Avenue on May 13th, 2013?
Yes.
At this time, the state moves to tender and admit into evidence 54 alpha alpha, you're on.
Producer Jay.
Okay, I'm going to miss it for alpha alpha.
Thank you, Your Honor. Now, Manager Porter, does crime scene reports have what is classified as a NCIC number on it?
Yes.
What is it? NCIC number?
It's the crime reporting number for that particular crime.
What was the NCIC number for this case?
1207.
What does that correspond?
A robbery in residence with a gun involved.
Now, once you create that crime scene report, when did you generate this specific report in this case?
On May 17th.
Is that usual or unusual to have a report generated days after you respond?
Not unusual.
Now, does, in the photographs you took that we have just walked through, did those photographs go through that APD lab that we discussed earlier?
Yes.
Can you describe how does the photo lab work once you fresh off the scene at 980 Confederate Avenue, go back to the lab? How does that process work?
So when we get back to the office and we do our reports, we put our photos on a disc. We place the report and the disc into an envelope, and we send it downstairs to our photo lab.
Now, is this like, so once the photo lab gets it, they process the photos?
Yes.
And do they make any documentation for after the photo lab processes it at APD?
They document whether the correct number of photos they say on the report is on the CD. They document whether the photo descriptions are what they depict on the picture.
Now, do you know what day the photo lab completed reviewing the photographs in this report?
I don't know what day they completed, but they received it on May 20th of 2013.
And do you see the initials of someone who worked in the APD photo lab that would review this back on May 20th, 2013?
Yes.
What are those initials and who was it?
RT, Ronald Thomas.
Is that something that you worked with?
Yes.
Now, I want to, you've admitted, but I have not yet published case exhibit 23 alpha alpha. I'd like to do that now. Manager Porter, are you right or left-handed?
I'm right-handed.
And so what hand do you use to shoot the photographs that you use in your own scenes?
My right hand.
So in this photograph 23 alpha alpha, is that your hand that's depicted in the photograph?
No.
And how do you know that?
Because they're not wearing gloves.
And do you wear gloves when you handle items, on scene?
Yes.
Now, what is 23 alfalfa?
It's a picture of a cell phone with two men on the front.
What kind of cell phone was
Metro PCS Samsung.
it? And whose cell phone was it?
Uh,
It's not hearsay of who she needs, she took this photograph for reasons, so it's not, there's no truth about certain whose cell phone she was, but I need to know why she took this photograph.
I'm gonna sustain the objection. You can bring it back.
Yes, Your Honor. So in your crime scene report, did you have a photo description for 23 Alpha Alpha?
yes.
What was the photo description that you put in your crime scene report for 23 Alpha Alpha that's depicted on the screen?
Your Honor, if that came from hearsay, then I'll check.
Can you see it, please? I see that. Yes, you can, Your Honor. Or it's on the screen, Your Honor?
No, let me see.
Yes, Your Honor.